DEWALT, one of the biggest brands of power tools. I bring you the new DEWALT 18 volt brushless combi drill. Let's have a look what we got. We start with a T-stack case. A T-stack case interchanges with the T-stack system done by DEWALT, which means that you can click other cases on the top of it and lock them in. So, what have we got? Two very strong clasps. Open the box up. 18 volt combi drill. We've got two batteries and we've got a charger. So we got the DEWALT 18 volt brushless combi drill. This means being brushless, there are no brushes to change. The motor is electronic. So basically the old brush system, you'd have a brush touch, come off, touch, come off. With this being electronic, it sends a signal to spin the motor around. So there's no servicing required on that. So at the front of the machine, we got a 1/2 inch keyless chuck. Now it's a single-handed chuck. What that means is if we were to put a bit in and we want to tighten it back up, we just engage the forward. We've got the bit in there, we lock it, that's it. This has got spindle lock, this machine. So basically we can change the bits single-handed. So let's have a look at the front of the machine. So what we've got there is we've got drilling mode. So we would use that if we were doing things like auger bits or some high-speed drilling. And if we turn it round, we've got hammer action. So if we want to put our red and brown plugs in, we put it onto the hammer action mode. Now, obviously, if we're putting plugs into masonry, we put it onto the second speed and you lean on it and obviously that gives you the power to drive it through. So then we come round to torque settings. Now you might say, what do we need torque settings for? If we were doing a run of screws and we want to put them all at the same depth, we would start by testing on a lower torque setting, put the screw in, and then it would literally just click the torque in, and that's as far as the screw would go. So if it was proud still, we'd then turn it around a little bit more, increase the torque, drive it in again, and when the torque cut in, if it was flush, that's absolutely perfect for the job, and then we don't have to reset it again. So basically we can just 100 screws, put them all in at the same depth. Okay, so we've got 2-speed on there, and as I explained, that if we were using this on a high torque product, so if we were something like an auger bit, a 28mm auger bit going into timber, what's going to happen is if you've got it on speed 2, the machine is going to cut out. So by putting it on speed 1, you get the highest torque. So that's what your speed's set for. So high speed drilling, we would go with 2 for your high speed, but if we're going to an application that requires a high torque, that's what we go for speed 1. Let's have a look at the machine at the back. We've got the rubber overmold. So if we're working in wet weather, basically we've still got the grip that we require. Now, on the trigger, you've got variable speed. You might say, well, what do I need variable speed for? Well, you need variable speed because if we were just doing one individual screw and we wanted to put it in and we want to drive it down, we want to be precise on what we're doing. What we don't want to do is go full speed. It'll either snap the screw or put it too far down below and damage the material that you're actually working on. So on the side there, you'll also see you've got forward and reverse. Obviously forward and reverse, so if you're putting screws in, obviously you need them forward. If you want to take the screw back out, you put it in reverse. Coming down to the front, we've got a really nice feature on here. We've got the LED light. Now the LED light will stay on 15 seconds after we depress the trigger. But if 15 seconds is not long enough, we can then flick it over to 30 seconds, or we can actually use that as a torch. So it's got a feature to use it as a torch on there. On the side of the machine, you've got a belt clip, so you literally can put it on your belt. Obviously, if you're going up a ladder, you don't really want to clip it on your belt unless you've got a lanyard, because if someone's below, that could do some nasty damage if it lands on their head. So we've got 2 batteries. This kit comes with a 5Ah battery and a 4Ah battery. Now, amp hour on battery means nothing to do with the power. An 18 volt battery is 18 volt. 5Ah basically is your fuel cell. So to put it in layman's terms, this 4Ah will do 4 miles before it runs out. With a 5Ah battery, it will do 5 miles before it runs out. So it's the length of time that it'll actually last for. Also on here, we've got a battery indicator. So press the button and it tells me that basically we've only got about 30% of the battery left. So at that point, if I was to go out a ladder to do a job, I wouldn't be taking up a battery with 1 bar left on it. I'd put that on charge. Now coming to the charger, we've got a 1 hour charger. So when you're using one battery on the machine, you can put the other battery on charge at the same time. So that's the DEWALT 18 volt brushless XR combi drill.